Welcome back to yet another Honest Tool Reviews. Today we'll be discussing Milwaukee 25-foot tape measure. Milwaukee, I forget, I think it's a 30-foot tape measure. Matter of fact, I'm almost sure that's 30 foot. Craftsman 25-foot tape measure. The Stanley's, the big tape measure, 30-foot tape measure. I guess if you had to go by what they are, you got two 30s and two 25s. I have been using both of these. They've got scratches on them. They're not brand new. I've just not really liked this one enough to use it. This one, I painted it all up to keep it from getting stolen, put an American flag on it, painted over that. I've had to make it really ugly because the companies that I've worked for have had a tendency to steal things. This one I've kept at home. This one I've kept at home. These two had been out with me. I always have a spare. Y'all know the drill. Basically, I do tool reviews because I want people to know what I think of the tools, and maybe I've persuaded someone to buy the right one. And if I do, when sales start dropping for tool companies that are making bad tools, they'll fix the things that they've done wrong. Let's see, this is the Stanley 35-foot tape measure. See, I didn't even know because I had painted it all up. Someone actually didn't want to bother stealing it. And go figure, that one's 35 foot. Let's see if this one will tell me. Foot 25. It says 25 inches, but I think that means 25 feet inches. Okay, 25 feet. I have a hard time believing this one's 25 feet and this one's 25 feet. Okay. I've never needed 25 feet out of any of them. So let's just start with the one that looks the newest, simply because I've clearly not used it a lot. And though this is a tool review channel where I test things a good amount of time before giving a review, I have honestly had this thing a year. I mean, I got my initials on the back of it. I've got scuff marks on it. I've kept it in the shop and not used it for much, but I've used it. It's used. It's got rust on it, which is actually saying something considering how much I've babied it. I don't like this tape measure. I don't like it at all. I want to like it because it's made in the United States and all that crap, but you know, they've paid for outsourcing for materials, so they're not going to sway me too hard. And Craftsman's not what they used to be. There's no lifetime guarantee on this thing. Pretty much the minute you've opened the package, you've fucked it up. You're not getting anything back. Ooh, did I cuss? That's okay. I'm not trying to get endorsements. I'm not trying to make money. I'm being real with the people here. Okay, so it says Stanley. It's doing that thing where it's trying to say that it's made in America, and it's technically not. It's got the 25-foot mark, and it's pretty standard. It's black and white. A lot of tape measures are yellow. Now, I prefer the yellow because yellow is a little easier to see than white. Sometimes when the light hits your tape measures and it's shiny, the light that you get is white, so you can't actually see the black. I don't know if I can do that on film here. I think you can kind of see the shine. It's not a bad tape measure. If I could remember what I spent on it, I know that I'm not happy with it. I think I paid $25 for it at the time. I'm honestly not sure. I'll have it at the end credits. Look, something happened there. I loaned it to somebody and they've marked all the way across it. People not treating stuff with respect. If you borrow something from somebody, treat it with respect. I'll be darned. It does, it holds out quite a ways. That's about 4 feet. It retracts. I mean, it does fine. It does what it should do. But it doesn't have the magnet on the end of it. It does have that little spot where you should be able to put the nail head or the screw head and then pull. And as far as grabbing things one-handed, it pulls. It does what it's supposed to do. I mean, it's okay. But I really preferred my Milwaukee. Now, I'm biased to Milwaukee, so please don't take very much that I say about Milwaukee to heart if it's good. Because I don't mean to give Milwaukee extra praise here. But my Milwaukee, I mean, I've put it through the ringer. I've got dirt on it. I've got dirt in it. It's rusted as it can be. I mean, and it doesn't really like to retract anymore. That's how much I've used it. And at this point in time, I would have a tendency to grab the Craftsman. But I like this one. I like this 25-footer because the teeth on here pull a little bit better. They seem to be angled a bit. And I mean, I bought it that way. It seemed like it was angled to cover like a makeup on how the claw would usually jiggle. It's like it's putting the hook where once all the jiggle is out, it's at where they want it to be. Clearly, you can see that there's writing on here. And my mother-in-law, she likes to joke about these kinds of tape measures, and a lot of people do. They like to say that they're idiot tape measures. I like to say that no matter who I hand my tape measure to, they can read it. If I ask somebody to mark something for me, and I hand them this tape measure, they better be able to mark what I've asked them to mark. It doesn't matter if I was a helper or a plumber. It doesn't matter if I was a master mechanic, a Tech 1. Just about anyone that can speak English and understands what their fractions are. If I hand them this tape measure, they would be able to go and find 14 1/4. God forbid this doesn't want to focus. I promise they're clear. I promise they're clear. I can't get this thing to focus at all. Why can't I get this to focus? I mean, I know y'all know what I'm showing, but can we not? Why wouldn't it focus? Stupid. I don't want to spend too much time trying to convince this thing to focus to show y'all what I'm talking about, but I promise that those numbers aren't gone yet. They're actually... Oh, there they are. There they are. Look. So if I wanted to tell somebody 14 1/8, they could put their pencil right here and go, "Nit." They're good. So even if it's for somebody else's benefit, it's still for your benefit. That helps a lot. If you loan it out, if you hand it to somebody because you don't have a free hand, if you've just had an off day, when you double check, you'll catch yourself. I like that. I like that as a feature, and I wish this one had the magnet. I do, because that would make this even better. Even though it doesn't retract anymore, it holds out quite far. Quite very far. This one's at 4 feet. Of course, the other one did at 4 feet too. This one I'm going past 5 feet with it, and it stands straight out. I'm running out of room in the shop here, but I mean this one, between the two of them that I keep at home, this one has always been my favorite. Now, on the other end, the work side, the business end of the things I've had for the companies I have worked for. I started with this one my company paid for this one, then they gave me a new one and told me to throw this in the trash, and it worked. So why on earth would I have thrown this in the trash? I painted it blue so people realize it's mine, because how many blue Milwaukees have you ever seen, right? So everyone can tell this one's mine by looking at it. Everyone could tell this one was mine because it was like yellow and black. Wait, no, I'm sorry. This was like a chrome silver. This was a Stanley chrome. And I honestly thought this was like a 30-footer. It's not. It's 35. Huh. The whole tape seems to have like a plastic look to it. It's got a sheen that looks like there's plastic on here. And you would think that would keep it from rusting, but no, it's still rusted. It does not have a magnet, and it's a slightly wider tape, so it's useful. It's darn useful. It's not bad, but you can see up here where like the plastic has kind of started to come off, and it didn't really help down inside because it rusted anyway. I fail to understand the point of the plastic because it didn't help. It stands out fairly good. It does the distance that I've needed. And it retracts okay, I guess. I mean, I have to lift it up. It's not retracting like it used to, but it's been worn out and it's been painted on. So I don't really have any complaints about it, but it's an ugly, shiny color. If you drop it, it will break. I've had 3 of them. I've dropped 2 of them on a ladder, and they have both broken. They've broken with no warranty. They've broken with no guarantee. You drop them, they break. You got probably about a foot that you can drop them from. You drop them from any higher than a foot, they will break. This Milwaukee is the creme de la creme. This is my favorite. I had it at work. I probably couldn't have afforded to buy it if it hadn't come from the people at work buying it for me, providing it for me, and telling me to trash it. I wouldn't have it. It does come with the magnet. You can see it magnetizing right there. It has the little lip there for the claw. You see it's got that slightly different design. It still has the screw catch right there. And something that I don't think a lot of people are aware of. See, Milwaukee has it. Okay, they have it too. Yeah, okay. All of them have it. There's this little niche in the bottom of the claw right there. And when you're marking your distance or whatever, like you're trying to come out to a distance, when you get out to where you're at, that's supposed to help you do like this and just scratch the surface instead of needing a pin. Now, it doesn't always help. Sometimes you can't. But they have that. They all have that feature. I think that's pretty commonplace now. And the screw feature, or nail feature if you will, has become pretty commonplace as well. But the magnet is very helpful. I know just about everyone that would be checking this out is like, yeah, I've seen them with magnets, or I just don't want to pay for a magnet. If you've not tried one with a magnet, get you one. Just get you one, put it away. If you ever feel like you need it, give it a try. See how you like it. You may be surprised just how helpful it can be to just tap the metal surface and get a read. You would be surprised how much that helps. The belt clip on this one is also a bit different than the rest of them. I mean, they all kind of keep a pretty standard metal clip, and then the metal clip has a hole in it, kind of like that. This one kind of looks like it would sit on one of those belt things that you can buy from Walmart. This one doesn't really look like you could sit it on anything because it's just a square looking hole. But this one, you can tether it to your wallet, tether it to your back pocket, tether it to your side or your belt loop, because you can take one of those little keychain things and just snap on there and snap on the ring of your belt loop or whatever, and keeps it from falling. So even if it is very cheap, it wouldn't fall very far because it's on your waist dangling there. I like that. I like everything about this Milwaukee. Do I like the price? Probably not. And again, I didn't buy it. I'd give this one probably 5 stars, because Milwaukee is not supposed to be for everybody, every day, everywhere. Does that mean I say go out and buy a Milwaukee? No, 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 no. By all means, you should buy something that you like, but also within the means that you can afford. I would not have bought this one. I might would have went to Lowe's and found something with a magnet and with the clip kind of shaped like this, and I would try to get at least 25 feet. There's no need to go over 30 feet. 35 was pushing it. But this one is my favorite. Of the ones that I have, this one's so sensitive, I'm scared to drop it. I don't use it a lot, and it's old and barely retracts. This one has been worn to the point that it doesn't retract. I mean, it's handled well. If you drop it, it's fine. I mean, it has taken a beating, and you can tell that it has taken a beating. It has taken a hell of a beating. But it's a good tape measure, and then this one has just kind of been normal. I mean, rather normal. And for the price, it wasn't bad. I think that might have been about $16. I'll check on that and put it in the credits what the prices of these were, or are currently at the time I'm posting this video. But I would say, for what Milwaukee is, I'll give them 5 stars for the Milwaukee 35-foot magnet tape measure. Wait, I don't want to misspeak again. 25 foot. I still don't believe that's 25 foot. Let's find out. Let's find out. Not sure how to do this and hold the camera. Let's just. Let's see where it stops. $20, $25. Yep, it did that thing where at 24 feet it stops and tells you, don't go much further. Woo! Okay, yeah, coming back at you hard and fast. Alright. So, I'll give that 4 stars. Let's give that 4 stars, because this one and this one are the same thing, and Milwaukee knows better than that. If you can do this, and you can do this, and they're going to be the same size, I mean, come on. This better be not much more expensive than this. I'm going to say 4 stars on this one. I don't like the fact that I am biased towards my Milwaukee, so I'll give them 4 stars. Y'all can improve, probably on pricing, but not my fault, not your fault. You're catering to companies that don't even look at the price tag. With this one, I'm going to say 5 stars, because it's cheaper than this one, and it does just about everything this one does except for the magnet. And if you really wanted to nitpick, you could measure a magnet, glue it on the end, and keep in mind that all of your measurements are that much off. It wouldn't be hard. Okay, for the Stanley Chrome, I think they call it a big boy, the Stanley Chrome, the big, yeah, I honestly say maybe 3 stars. It's really crappy plastic. It's overly shiny. The shine wears off at the end of the day. People don't even want to steal it because they know what it is. They know how expensive it is. They know it's so cheap. Well, dang. They know it's cheap compared to, I mean, it's not worth stealing. If you could steal any of these, you wouldn't steal that one. Me painting it was because it was the only one I had at the time, and did not want to get caught on a job site without a tape measure. If someone got really desperate, I was desperate. I'm going to give this one 4 stars. This one 4 stars, this one 4 stars, because they did, bottom line, they only did what they had to do. Only did what they had to do. I've not had a problem with dropping it. I don't believe it's cheap and not durable. I want to say that it's durable. I mean, I don't think there's very many problems with it, but it's just not been a tape measure that when I've had to have something done, I've said, ooh, let me get my Craftsman. As a matter of fact, if I had to send somebody off somewhere with my tape measure, this is the one I've loaned them because I didn't want them to get the Milwaukee and not come back with it. So, I mean, I say 4 stars, 5 stars, 3 stars, 4 stars. I can't be any more specific than that. I like the dumb measurements. I do like durability. I like the magnet. I don't like cheap. I don't like when it chooses not to withdraw the tape anymore. I don't like bland and normal. I mean, if you're gonna go big, go big. Don't say I'm Craftsman, I'm brand new. We are trying to make a name for ourselves since our buyout. So here's something average. No. No. You don't reboot your company by being average. Milwaukee is a step ahead of everybody, but they are a step ahead company with company prices. You're going to kind of have to make up your own mind what you want here. And none of these have failed me. I mean, I've dropped it and broke it, but that's my fault. This being replaced 3 times has been my fault. My fault for dropping it in the first place. You shouldn't drop a tool. But if you do drop a tool, you don't want it to shatter. You want it to be tough like Milwaukee, not like Stanley. I mean, I've got Stanley wrenches. I've got some in here that I'm honestly afraid to use them because they're Stanley. I'm afraid they're gonna break. And it would be hard to break a wrench, but you could do it. And tools are investments. You gotta kind of baby tools that you know are cheap. I've got. Is that a Stanley? I don't know that that's Stanley. I know the yellow and black. People obviously assume that's Stanley, and when people see that and Black & Decker, they get a little chintzy. They're afraid it's gonna break. They don't want to really get rough with it. But these you're gonna have to take. You're gonna have to take my review here with a grain of salt because it'll get more and more obvious the more of my videos I upload. I am biased towards Milwaukee, and I'm trying my best not to be. They've not paid me to be biased. They're not paying me. They're not sending me tools. No one's giving me any buffers. As a matter of fact, if anyone sees any advertisements on any of my videos before, in the middle, or after my videos, leave me a comment or a message and tell me. Because I am not about that. I don't want to do any advertising. I don't want to do any sponsorships. I just want to tell y'all what I've used and what I think of it. And, you know, normally I'd try to tell you how long I've used it. Well, I've had this one for about 8 months. I've had this one for roughly 1.5 years, which is the longest I've ever had one of them. Most of these I've dropped in 2 months. I've had this one for about 1.5 years. Well, no, closer to a year, because I had that one by itself for a long time. And I've had this one for roughly 10 months. And I have used every one of them. I've only used this one maybe 12 times. I've used this one several hundreds of times. I've probably used this one 1,000 times, and because this is the oldest one and I had it the longest, I probably used that one a good 800 times. Before this one came along, I had probably used it a good 600 times, and then sometimes I'm just not near my toolbox and just happen to have this one. So I've used this one probably just a little less than this one. So that's what I'm basing my review on, the amount of time that I've used them. And again, if you see advertisements on my channel, let me know. Like this is just something because my vehicle requires an oil filter, and I use filters every once in a while. This is my service cart, so it's just got vehicular stuff on there. I'm not trying to advertise anything to anybody. I just want you to know what I think of them. I hope that I've helped you make the correct choice. And I hope you have a great day. Hit me up in the comments below what you think of specific tape measures. It doesn't have to be anything in the video. Just post what you use, post how much you like it, and post how much you've used it. Please try not to be a person where you just ran out and bought a brand new DeWalt tape measure. You used it one time to measure 3 inches and said that you love it. I want a little bit more than that. Try to be a little bit better than that. I'll give you an example. I have these 3 wrenches up here for removing really stubborn bolts. I bought them with 2 sizes a piece on there. I've got 3 of them. They're from Duralast, and I've had them for 2 years and never used them. So you will not see a review of this. Even if I use it once, you will not see a review on this, because this does not warrant a review. I can't give you a review on it if I haven't honestly used the ever-living shit out of it. So, give me a real review of what you think of your tape measures. Post pictures, comments, links to videos below. Let's all be adults and try to help each other spend our money the wisest and get the best we can for what our money's worth, and get something that we honestly use and enjoy. Y'all have a great day out there in YouTube land. Stay safe, work smart.